Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, we're going to formally start in a couple of minutes, but I just thought it might be nice to have a little informal, I don't know, chat time, sharing time. So, warm welcome to one and a warm welcome to all. And if you'd like to say hello or share what's on your mind and heart, then please do. And we'll formally get started in about 6 minutes. But please do say hello. I'm just going to chit chat a little bit. And this is an opportunity to, with these gatherings, there's, um, hey, forever loving everything. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, with these gatherings, it's not the most natural way to get together. What would be most natural is to get together in person or for there to be a little more back and forth. These gatherings are mostly me just doing talking. So I wanted to create at least a little opportunity for people to share and connect um, so I hope everyone out there is really, hey, Nikki. Hope everyone out there is, I'm personally taking these world events as an opportunity to really deepen my faith and to really, and so I'm just going to keep talking, but please, the floor is open. I know once the meeting starts, I get a little more, I like the sharing to be very on topic, but if anyone just wants to share, please do. So I'm taking these current world events as an opportunity to really deepen my faith, but also it's an opportunity to really reflect on the need for faith. Like I'm really seeing, like I haven't been really upset or afraid during this whole thing, and it's because I've just been focusing so much on faith, and so for me, it's really been a time to reflect on how powerful faith is and how necessary it is. So that's part of what's going on in my journey, and I would love to hear what's going on in other people's journeys. Welcome to those who have joined in. We're going to formally start in a couple minutes, and we're going to have this is just a little informal chit chat beforehand. So if people want to share what's going on in their journey, please do. In fact, I'm going to type that in so I don't have to keep repeating it. Please share what is happening in your journey. One thing that I do, for anyone who's new, we're going to be talking about the teachings of Christ as shared by Bruno Gröning, and Bruno's no longer in his body. Looks like there's a little bit of a connection glitch. One moment. So one thing I like to do is I just like to try out different things and see what works and see what feels good, because Bruno Gröning's not in his body anymore, and so I really feel like it's up to each one of us to find our own way to share this message. Hey, Gerald, welcome. So that's part of what this is about. And really, even for someone who's not into Bruno Gröning, but into Christianity or into a specific tradition, the thing is when we get too locked into tradition, then the spirit, then the essence and the aliveness of what was being talked about gets lost. On the other hand, and I live in a very spiritual town where it's like people are just kind of making up new things, but if you get too far away from an established tradition, then things just seem to me anyway, they seem to get ungrounded. And so I'm really a stickler for going after the essence and staying with the essence. So okay, so no one thus far has shared what's going on in their journey. So let's just tune in together for a minute or two, and then we'll formally get started. Thanks to everyone for dropping by. Let's just ask for a good meeting for ourselves, for everyone who comes by, everyone who watches this video. Let's really, let's really ask that we be open to the divine life energy that's always flowing. It's just our job to take it in. And let's also ask that we be open to the truth. Not so much, not asking people to just, hey, believe whatever I say, but that the living truth, truth itself, the truth of life, the truth of God, we have to be open to it. So let's just ask for openness to receive healing life energy and to really receive and know the truth. All right, dear ones, it's formally 9 o'clock, so we're going to formally begin. Thank you so much for dropping by, everyone. Let's, I'm starting to learn to start everything with a prayer, even if it's just a short prayer, like, please, God, please, Christ, please, Bruno, please guide this meeting. Please may it bless everyone who attends and participates, everyone who watches this video. Please, just that it be guided by God and blessed by God, and that the energy of God just pervade it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. What to say? Here it is, another day on this unspeakably beautiful earth in these marvelous, beyond word bodies. Unspeakably marvelous. And here we are. It's March 2020. And there's quite an interesting world situation happening. For me, it's an opportunity. It's either we have options given the world circumstance. We have the option to go into fear, or we have the option to go into faith. And I'm really, there's a lot of New Age teachings that say, that we have a choice between fear and love. I don't fully resonate with that. I think it's more we have an option between fear and faith, and then when we're in faith, the love can flow. The reason why I mention this is that Christ spoke about laying a foundation that can withstand the storms of life, and as did Bruno Gröning. And for anyone who's new to this, in essence, what I'm sharing is what I consider to be, what I'm utterly convinced are the actual teachings of Jesus Christ, as revealed by a very simple, humble man, Bruno Gröning, who I consider to be the absolute, hands down, greatest Christian who ever lived, who was able to put into practice the teachings of Christ even more strongly than the apostles, even more strongly than Paul, meaning tens of thousands of healings occurred through Bruno Gröning, but he never took credit for the healings. He said that it was God who healed people and that he was merely an instrument and servant of God. He lived out the teachings of Christ like no other person I'm aware of in history. And if anyone is aware of such a person, please, after this, who 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 you think lived out the teaching, is such a, and there are many others who I have a lot of respect for. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Amici, a current living Hindu saint. There are many, many beings who I have just the utmost respect for. But in terms of being like Christ and living the path and teaching the path that Christ did, I know of no one that comes close. In my view, it's one of my deepest held opinions, but I'm open to learn, such as Bruno Gröning. And so, just like Christ, Bruno Gröning said, trust or confidence in, he said, the good, which is part of how he described God. So, in essence, trust, faith, confidence in God is the foundation of divine order, meaning divine order in our lives, but also divine order on this earth. He said, there will only be peace on this earth when people come back to the true faith. Now, human beings tend to think of faith as believing a doctrine. Well, Bruno Gröning didn't quite say it. Didn't really. He didn't quite say it that way, and I don't think Jesus actually said it that way. I think, in essence, what they were teaching was trust. You know the way you trust a really good friend? You just have utter confidence that they're going to show up for you. That's what I believe. That's what I'm utterly convinced Christ meant by faith and trust. And that's what Bruno Gröning, that's how Bruno Gröning expressed it, that it's not about having a belief. He said, he once said when speaking about Christianity and the teaching of Christ, he said, it's not enough to just say, I believe, to be a Christian. He said, it takes much more than that, friends, much more than that. I'm just looking for this quote where he talked about peace on earth. Well, I'll just have to paraphrase. In essence, he said, there won't be peace on earth until people have this real, true faith again. This utter confidence in the divine. So, one of the other things that Bruno Gröning taught, and there's hints of it, of Christ's teaching, though it mostly got left out or maybe edited out, I don't know, was that there's a divine energy that we can take in that can help us in every aspect of our lives. And it's very simple to take it in. Please sit with your legs uncrossed, feet flat on the floor, hands on your legs, palms facing upwards, back in an upright position if possible. If you need to lie down, that's fine. And if you need to lean against your chair, that's fine. But if possible, just a nice upright position. Then please close your eyes. And now hand over the idea of illness. Let's say, for example, you have stomach cancer and your stomach hurts today. What I'm asking you to do is to literally separate yourself from the idea that you even have cancer. You may have the same sensations, the same pain, but really get rid of the idea that you have that illness. It may sound insane, and from a medical perspective, it kind of is, but what I'm talking about is from a spiritual perspective. From a spiritual perspective, none of us have any illness. All we have is different manifestations of evil. So let's just give away all illness, all evil, firmly separate ourselves from it, from the thought of it. And now really think about our healing. Think about health, well-being. Then ask to receive the healing stream, the living stream, the stream that heals, the waters of life These are spiritual waters. It's written that Christ spoke about them. And then, having asked for it, now observe your body, noticing the sensations you feel. Taking on the attitude, the trust that every sensation you feel is now a step towards your healing. Handing over any negative thoughts. Viewing every sensation as a step towards your healing. If thoughts of illness come, then hand them over again. Very warm welcome to anyone who's new. Please continue this practice. You're welcome to just sit with your eyes closed, observe the body, take in this energy. So, thank you, Forever Loving Everything. She wrote, I know that everything is on the best way, on the divine way. That's my understanding what Bruno Grenning meant and what Christ meant by true faith. To really trust in life. And talk about an opportunity to learn faith and trust. Well, we're being given it right now in March 2020. And Bruno Grenning spoke about this. He said, when evil rears its ugly head, let's maintain, I'm gonna have to paraphrase, let's maintain our faith no matter in what way evil rears its ugly head. He said that paradise will be restored on this planet. How about that? To believe that right here, right now, that paradise, you could say heaven on earth, is the destiny of this planet. You go around and take a poll of people. Right now, I imagine most people think the world is going to hell in a handbasket, as the expression goes. So here's our chance to really take on faith, to make faith our bottom line, that no matter what, we believe, we trust. Again, And I'm not talking believe like have an idea. As I said, like believe in a friend. Like I have a friend who just one day I said to this person, it's like, I really believe in you. This person's an artist and has lots of projects they're working on. I really believe in you. It wasn't coming from my head. It's more like guts. Like I really, I think you're going places, and I really trust the projects that you're working on are good. I'm going to bless a lot of people. That's the attitude we need towards God, this gut felt feeling of confidence that, that the divine is reliable and dependable. So let's sit with all that. Take in some more good energy, noticing what you feel. Really taking in this good energy. So, I've been sharing this quote and idea for the last couple days, and I haven't been able to just, I just finally found it. So, here's a quote from Bruno Gröning that I think is the most important thing for all of us to remember during this time. Let us believe deep within our heart that the final victory of good over evil will come about on this earth, regardless of the form in which Satan wants to rear himself up in all his cruelty. That's a keeper. I'm gonna post that if I can. One moment, let's see if I can get it. Nope, this particular source won't let me. I'm going to get that quote because it's what we need to do now. Again, let us believe deep within our heart that the final victory of good over evil will come about on this earth, regardless of the form in which Satan wants to rear himself up in all his cruelty. So, you know, in the worldly sense of the word, um, like now people would say it's natural to be afraid right now. It's natural to doubt God or to worry. Well, Bruno Gröning would say it's habitual, and it's time for us to break that habit, not just for our own personal well-being, because fear sucks. Pardon me, I don't know how else to say it. It's stressful beyond words, and it really opens the door to evil. Whereas faith just solves it solves our emotional problems, our mental and emotional problems, and then puts us in the right frame of mind to make wise choices to solve our life problems. Whereas fear gets us into this state where we don't know what's what and we make bad choices. But this isn't just about us. Again, I can't find the quote right now, but Bruno Gröning said that when people have, I'm going to try one more time to find it. There it is. I found it. Up till now, hate and envy occurred not just among the Germans, but among all nations on the earth. This has to come to an end, but it will only end when everyone found their way back to their faith. There will no longer be any hatefulness among them, among the nations on the earth, and world peace will be secured that way. So we're doing this not just for our own well-being, but for world peace. What's Bruno Gröning's world peace plan? Faith, not in a dogma. He said their faith, meaning each one of us having our personal trust, our personal confidence in God. And of course, that's the essence of what Christ taught. But this isn't even just about us and about the earth. Here's what Bruno Gröning said. A true child of God always complies with the will of his Father, everywhere. And the more people there are that live in that way, the sooner paradise will arise on earth for the blessing of all creation. So according to Bruno Gröning, and I'm utterly convinced that's the good news that Jesus Christ came to share, is that paradise on this earth is inevitable. Bruno didn't say, if people do this, then paradise will happen. He said, the more people that follow God's will, the sooner paradise will come about here on this earth. And then it's not just for this earth. Bruno Gröning said that event will bless all of creation. So friends, we're not just finding our own personal salvation here, which we are, and we're not just engaged in a spiritual battle to free the earth from all evil, which we are, but we're part of something that's beyond any of our minds that we can comprehend, an event. And I'm not saying the event, I'm not talking about like something's going to happen tomorrow, but please, that we're part of a spiritual process of freeing this earth from all evil, and this will bless all of creation. This is what Bruno Gröning said, and I trust it like my life depends on it. And I am utterly convinced this is exactly what Jesus Christ came and taught. And more important, I don't want to say more importantly, so that's a little theoretical. But Christ and Bruno taught us the very straightforward, practical way to do this. So I just want to be crystal clear. I'm not a guru. I'm not looking for followers. I don't think I'm like the Messiah. I'm just passing along a message. And I'm utterly convinced this message is going to change and save the world. But just like everyone here, I hope everyone, I strive and struggle to live this message every day. And I have successes every day, and I fall short in some ways every day. But that's what we're up to, friends, freeing ourselves from all evil. Can you imagine being free from all evil forever, from all problems? But we're also seeking to free our beloved Mother Earth, from all evil. And our friends, those who we care about. It's like we're trying to free ourselves, those we care about, those we don't know yet or care about, but who are our brothers and sisters, meaning all the human race. And then our very mother, this earth from which the matter of these beautiful bodies is made from, truly our mother, to free her from all evil. And then if that event, some way, somehow, is going to bless all of creation. So that's what we're up to, friends. And that's the big picture. And the little picture is to maintain our faith. That's Bruno Gruning's World Peace Plan. And I'm utterly convinced that's the essence of the practical instructions that Christ came to give us, to free ourselves, to free the human race, to free this earth, and to bless creation. So we'll begin to wind down today's gathering. But let's take a moment and reflect on all this, the vastness of the task that we're involved in. And it's not any one of it's not my responsibility. It's not anyone's here to do it all on our own. I think it's a team sport we're involved in. And I'm very grateful to each member. And maybe this little gathering is like a sub-team of the big team, being the human race. And then this is just a little tiny club that's part of the big club. So thank you for everyone joining in, taking in this energy, being willing to listen to these ideas. These are simple but radical ideas. And hopefully then taking these ideas and living them. So again, let's continue to observe our bodies, taking in this energy. Viewing every sensation as a step towards our healing, our recovery, our salvation. And here's the discipline. For example, there's something I'm working on healing right now, and it feels very uncomfortable. And so to look at that feeling, because the habit is to say, oh, I have an illness. No, I've handed over that thought to look at the same feeling and say, this is a healing in progress. Thanks everyone for saying hello. Thank you for ever loving everything. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Gerald. Forever loving everything reported. Since I met Bruno, there's a lot of gifts arising in my life. That's the way of it. There are challenges on this path, and there are so many blessings. And there are blessings that help us face the challenge, such as you, Truth. I'm honored to be a blessing to you, forever loving everything, and you're a blessing to me. Thank you. Hi, Jisoo. God bless this family. Yes, please. All right, dear ones, I'm going to say a little prayer. Beloved Father, our Maker, please help us to be humble and recognize our need for God and nature. Please help us to deepen our faith in your almighty power. Please help us recognize our need to follow you and be guided by you and make the decision that's how I'm going to live and that's how I'm going to grow towards. Please help us become aware of everything that stands in the way of that. Bring it to awareness. Help us to be honest with ourselves and be willing to hand over all these bad habits, all these untrue beliefs. And we humbly ask you, please remove everything that stands in the way of us being instruments of your love, your power, your peace, your wisdom. Please help us to examine ourselves and to notice where we've done wrong and to determine to do differently and to make amends wherever we can to make right the wrongs we've done. Please help us to watch our thoughts like our life depends on it, determining which thoughts come from you and which thoughts come from evil, to be very firm in that practice. Please help us to seek you more and more. And please help us to seek your guidance in all matters, to be guided by you. Please help us to trust that we will be freed from all evil. And please lift us and place us back onto the good path. And then help us stay on that path by vigorously examining our lives, every thought, feeling, and action, and being of service to others. Thank you. With the right word or the right smile in the right moment, we can have a huge impact, friends. Let's ask to be guided. What's our part? And as Bruno Gröning said, hold on one moment. I'm very excited to close with this. Bruno Gröning said, a true child of God always complies with the will of his Father everywhere. And the more people that live that way, the sooner paradise will arise on earth for the blessing of all creation. So, please, God, help us to comply with your will, to seek to know and to do your will for our well-being, so that we can be of service and to help paradise be restored sooner. Father, what's our part in being of service to heaven on earth? Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. Take care. I wish you a God-filled and a God-guided day. And let me close out that prayer actually. And we ask all of these things in the very, very sacred name of Jesus Christ, And we ask, dear Bruno, our friend and helper, to help us live this way, this simple but not always easy way that you gave your life to teach us, to remind us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God, it's time to go out and do our spiritual work, fight the spiritual fight, and live a God-filled life. Take care. Much love.